We're back. We're
Yes.
finally back.
We are finally back. Now, okay, I've been thinking about this, and I've come to a very sad realization. I believe because we had these two things going on where half of it would be on Earth and half of it would be in space with Kuva and their weird friend trying to save the Doctor.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get them to connect to each other. And I think the answer might be we have to kill one of the storylines, either the Earth or space.
Okay. Well, okay. So I saw you down there. Keep the unit and those stories separate, which I'm not opposed to. I think that can work. So part 2, we had part at the end, sort of just from the ideas we talked about last time. Part 2, I think they did reach out to each other, right? But they weren't physically in the same space. And we've still got Mel and Rose in the past. That was a problem as well, and it's like they're sort of.
Can I just pitch? Can I pitch something to you? And if you don't like this, because this is a very different idea from what we have right now. So if you don't like it, we can go back to this and try and figure out an ending. But I was just thinking, I think it would be more interesting if the Doctor and Kuva find the Gilead homeworld just on their own, and then the Doctor gets kidnapped and Kuva escapes with Elec. And then instead of all that stuff about UNIT, we can have maybe a bit more time to let Kuva and Alec's relationship grow, and for them to just like have individual episodes to for their characters to grow while the Doctor is unconscious. Because in that situation, the individual episodes could be more like episodic. You know, like all the stuff you were saying about how like you have a bunch of ideas for individual episodes. In this scenario, like maybe some of those could be adapted so that the Doctor is instead Kuva, and the companion is Elec. You don't like this?
Well, okay. For the just to clarify, do you mean cutting the entire UNIT story?
Yeah, because UNIT.
I don't like that.
You don't.
I think that sort of is the story, as well as like Kuva's thing, like that. My one thing about having a lot of individual episodes is that could work, but a lot of the ideas I was having are specifically Doctor companion stories. They do not fit into this arc really. This like continuous narrative.
Okay. Because my main problem with this is that it feels like it doesn't have enough time. Like in the in the original idea we had like a montage of Kuva and Elec just sort of traveling through space, and I feel like that would work better as like if we saw some of those. And it wasn't all just taken up with UNIT just trying to stave off the Gilead on Earth. Aside from the time travel thing, personally, I think I'm not as engaged in what they're trying to do. Yeah, especially especially since we're trying to write for characters who don't have much characterization.
I mean, if you wanted to remove them completely, I wouldn't. I could think I.
Sorry to spring this on
like, have it be a purely.
I know I haven't.
Yeah, I'm just
mentioned
because
this.
we've spent a lot of this. I mean, if I'm being honest, the story I think we should axe is the entire time travel one, because I don't really. If we're thinking
the
like
whole Victorian England thing.
The Victorian England. Well, actually no. Actually, that's not even true. I don't know why I said that, because I actually do quite like that.
Yeah.
But I think with the UNIT story is that the problem with it is that there's not been a lot of forward momentum, like you were saying. But what we should be doing is introducing the discussion about like time distortion on Earth, because Earth, I think without UNIT there is no investment in trying to save Earth.
Also,
because Kuva.
Yeah, I think that's what I was about to say before I interrupted you. Sorry. I think we were about to say the same thing.
And the 15th. And I think because it's specifically the 15th Doctor, they're very tied to UNIT and those people. And I don't really like the idea of scrapping them, really. I don't know. I kind of like want to keep them. Because I'm trying to think, because what have we got? Because also my individual story idea was like a Dalek story, and I feel like that does not.
Okay. Well.
I mean, it's a very specific type of Dalek story as well. Like, it's not like they're just around. It doesn't really fit this entire.
How does your story happen?
I'm not sure exactly how they get to it. Sorry, I don't mean to be so negative.
It is fine. It is fine. Honestly, I'm being quite negative by saying we should get rid of a lot of the ideas we've come up with.
No, so my Dalek story is about, just talking about it in the terms that I originally thought. The Doctor and Kuva arrive in a very sort of metropolitan planet in the sort of middle of an art scene, where a very sort of typically very eccentric art director is trying to produce art based around the Daleks, and trying to get to the heart of, is there beauty to be found in the pure hatred and fascism and the sort of using real life Daleks in the art, and sort of it being a very sort of quite upsetting story of. It's one of my favorite Dalek stories ever is a audio called Jubilee, and that sort of talks about the hypocrisy of British nationalism compared with the Daleks, and it's like it's basically a story of the Daleks are evil, but here is them presenting a mirror to modern society.
I mean, what if the guy who's doing the art thing could be a Gilead soldier? Actually, because the Gilead are kind of supposed to be like the British Empire, which is kind of...
that's what they're sort of based on.
Which is what you were saying, like how the Daleks are so similar to the British Empire and all that stuff. So if...
I'm just not sure. I'm just not really sure. I mean, like, that could work if it's a Gilead trying to do it, but like, I'm just trying to think, why are Kuva and Elec here? Why would they have even... Why would they not, like... Because I'm just thinking Kuva would see this, like, oh, this is clearly bad. Let's go back to Earth, because that's all we need to be. And, like, I just don't really see how they get to being in that position.
I personally... The reason I'm saying this is because I would personally love to see more of Kuva and Alec's relationship growing throughout this series. Because they don't really have many episodes to do that in. And also I'd like to know what Alec is like a lot more, because his characterization so far has been very
you say this, but the best bit of characterization we had for Alec was in the Doctor's mind.
Yeah.
And that was was really, really good. I think that's...
Okay, hang on. We don't have to give Unit so many episodes.
Yeah, that's fine by me. I'm happy to cut that down. I do think we are a bit of a... Because the problem is, if it's two plots, I'm not... Because there's a thing of, like, I do really like the time travel one with Mel and Rose, but then we've got 3 different, like, things that to, like, randomly focus on. Like, it's okay if we're cutting back and forth to Unit and Kuva, but to then keep cutting back to a third thing where characters really aren't moving the story forward in any way.
I mean, I suppose we could have, like, them solve the Victorian England thing.
Well, we could always make Unit more serialized, and Kuva, like you're saying, Kuva have more like little adventures that take place during their traveling back home to Earth. Because if Units are more like, we cut Unit down to just increasing conflict with the Gilead, talking to the Silurians and Zygons, and that maybe be it, and just have that be the progress of that. And then sort of see them near the end fighting back against the Gilead. That is going well, then it goes badly, and Kuva gets to Earth, and in between all that, Kuva is having those adventures with Alec. And then we just need to come up with some ideas for stories they could be going on, and like adventures.
Yeah. So I think if you look at 16, that would maybe just a good thing to have on its own. And then if maybe 19... These don't have to be the actual episode numbers. We can shift things around.
Yeah.
But if we had one at the start where Unit is trying to beat back the Gilead, one in the middle where UNIT is trying to deal with the time distortions and trying to reach the Silurians, and then at the end, three-parter, they come into it fully.
And that sort of is the time we're giving to UNIT.
Yes.
Apart from the beginning bits of the story and all that.
Yeah. I feel like I do like that a lot more.
And then, yeah, I think that makes more sense, because then we can sort of we're not so fatigued with having to have that be a plot line that we're constantly going back and forth to. I think that's just to have a bit of investment on Earth of like, because I do like the idea that because in my mind it was always like the reason Gilead, the Kuva, if you're still happy for this, like Kuva decides to like isolate Earth and the Gilead fleet somewhere, is that the Gilead are testing out their weapons on Earth first. Like, this is the first planet they're going to do this to before they spread out and do it everywhere.
Yeah.
Which will ruin everything forever.
I don't know. The other thing was, the other two worries that I had with it was that it just seemed like UNIT was bringing in too many old characters and old ideas. And also, I didn't like that Kuva can just turn into a TARDIS at this point in the story. I think that's the kind of thing we should leave until later in the story.
More room for that.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem I was having it before, that I just couldn't quite articulate.
Ah, okay, yeah, that's cool, but no, that does make sense. That honestly that's a very fair criticism. I've had a bit of an idea for an Alec Kuva story.
Oh, okay.
While we've been talking.
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Just a core premise, at least. I'm not sure where it's set or where it's going, but like, for some reason, because obviously we end their story with them like Kuva needing to travel faster. They somehow are marooned somewhere, and Kuva is very injured, like severely injured, and like they now have to contend with looking after the Doctor. So they have to look after the Doctor and also not die. So they have to task Alec with looking after them. And I think the sort of fear of the episode is like seeing Alec being given orders to sort of follow to look after Kuva, and the sort of impending dread that if Kuva isn't well enough to give instructions, Alec will just stop looking after them, or not be able to look after them because they're not being given direct command.
That's very interesting. The thing that I thought about when you said that was, what does it mean for Kuva to be injured? Because Kuva is like a shapeshifter who's made of thought. What if Kuva gets shot by one of the weapons, one of the Time Lord weapons?
Yeah, that's a good. Like, they are in a sort of they because this would be. Would you say this is episode 22 or 23? Sorry, I don't know actually. We got Doctor's mind. Oh, we can reorganize
shift
Doctor's mind down a bit.
I don't know if it could be like between the spaceport thing and the Doctor's mind, depending on how it goes. But we can just write it down here.
Right down there for now. We can just move. But I like maybe after this, like they got like some Gilead ships like sort of run into them and try and like board them. Kuva is like Alec and Kuva dispatch these guys, but Kuva is severely injured by this weaponry because she's been in the Doctor's universe for too long, and now like this stuff can hurt. It's starting to distort her being.
Like I'm thinking maybe she becomes like a CGI cloud thing. Can't really speak or move.
I like that. It could be something that like she's losing. She's sort of, because she comes from a universe where she creates everything with like thought and their own imagination. Have it be that like the reverse is happening. Kuva is being pulled into like the universe's collective consciousness and is just going to be dissipated.
Kuva's universe.
The Doctor Who universe.
The like Prime universe.
So like the sort of collective thought of every being in existence is just gonna rip them apart, and they're gonna be nothing.
What if they crash land on a planet with like a medieval population on it, and Kuva realizes that they need the thoughts of these people in order to like stabilize themselves.
Maybe, I'm not sure. It's a little bit similar to our previous Kuva one.
Okay.
Like early Kuva story. But I do.
I like,
because I was thinking have this.
Because I think a very interesting dynamic would be after this series, if the pair had done something that the Doctor just really did not approve of, but they thought that he would approve. Something like, we have to get the Doctor back to the Earth, so maybe, like, being a bit cruel to these people, he'd want that. Because we are the only people who can save the Earth.
I think slight spin on that idea.
Okay.
Would just because I think Kuva as a character at this point would not do that. But if they're very injured and dying and they give vague orders to the very impressionable soldier.
Oh, okay.
That could end really poorly.
I do like that, yeah.
Like you just Kuva like very sort of drearily being like, you have to save me. You have to save the Doctor. You have to get us out off this planet, please, no matter what. And that gets interpreted. Okay, I will complete this task. I've got to like I think Alec is like there's a naivety to him, but there's also like that is kind of a cover for the I will do anything I'm told if it's by my superior officer, and I will work with the instructions I'm given.
Yes.
I mean this because I think Kuva's like giving orders for a bit, and then they get out of commission, and then it could become an Alec story of just something terrible he does in order to save Kuva.
Oh my god. I'm actually fully imagining that now. Just like you have to watch there and watch him do stupider and stupider things as time goes on.
Just like increasingly like, because if it is like a medieval village as well, like I think Alec's not like intelligent, but he knows he has to complete this task, so he will do anything to do this. And once the story's done, like Kuva is somehow better, and Alec is just sort of like, oh well, that's all done, sir. Are we ready to move on? And Kuva is just sort of left in the wake of this.
I think maybe so okay. What if maybe their ship gets boarded by a boarding party? What if they crash land, and then this is on like the top of a mountain or something, or like nearby the village, and Alec goes down there and he like interacts with the villagers, and it like in a very menacing way almost. Like he's talking to them like perfectly pleasantly, and then every now and then he says something like, why are you trying to save your dying son? Surely it would be simpler to just stab him and save all the resources or something.
This medicine is being wasted on him. He's like Alec is just like, oh, this is quite a primitive planet. That medicine is wasted on that boy. He's probably not going to survive. Even if he does, the amount you've already used to heal him would be a waste.
Yeah,
that would be foolish.
I think
because I don't think Alec's like a manipulator. Alec is very abrupt and direct.
Yes.
Like,
I think saying that would be even more impactful if they'd asked him to take care of him. Like if he'd said, "Oh, I know about medicine," and they're like, "Oh, can you help our son?" And he looks at him and he's like, "Well, I can't really help him. Also, it was probably not worth helping him in the first place. You should have just let him die if it was up to me."
Yeah, it was, and like and you can even have Alec sort of rationalize it a little bit by saying like, he's in a lot of pain. He's probably going to continue to be in a lot of pain. And then he'll die, and everything will have been wasted. And it's like a very coldness. What
if and then in the night, Alec is like, let's just make this calculation here. If I just like kidnap this kid and like throw him into the Kuva amalgamation thing, maybe it'll help. And so he does. Yeah, and then he keeps doing that.
Pulling a Captain Jack Harkness.
You could be referencing any of the 15 times that he does that. When you said
I'm specifically referencing when he fries his grandson.
Oh, yeah. How could I forget about when he fries his grandson?
Whoa, Captain Jack Harkness. It's crazy seeing him in, I suppose, thinking about Children of Earth and then seeing him in like, seeing him in like the 13th Doctor's run is like, oh, hey Doctor, it's me. Hey, what's going on? Whoa.
I keep remembering parts of like Torchwood and then going, that was maybe a lot worse than I thought it was. Like the meat creature that was infinitely regrowing, or the guy who sees the time vortex, or the okay, I'm gonna get up Torchwood season 2 actually.
Torchwood is incredibly dark, and Captain Jack is one of the darkest, probably one of the darkest characters in Doctor Who, just in general. And you know, like, I saw a video talking about it, and it's like, I gotta give it credit, because the reason, like, Captain Jack is Chris Chibnall's character by the end of it. The development Chris Chibnall puts into him is stunning.
Really?
Yeah, like, I mean, at least, I don't know how involved Chris Chibnall was in Series 3, but for Series 1 and 2, the development is all Chibnall.
Oh, I
That's
completely...
a character he's worked with a lot.
I mean, it would be interesting to see, like, which ones Chibnall wrote for that. But I have just remembered that the main thing I was thinking about was the glove that brings you back to life in order to remember that you are dead. In order to have, like, 30 seconds to remember that you're dead.
Do you know who would be an insane companion to have as, like, a Doctor Who companion? Susie from Torchwood. Do you remember her? That lady?
No. Which one's Susie?
Kept coming. She was in the first episode. She was murdering people and then bringing them back with the glove, and then came back from the dead herself.
Right.
She gets an audio story with the Slovene lady from Boomtown.
Because the Slitheen... Imagine if the fucking Slitheen showed up in Torchwood. How horrible that would be. Because I feel like
that would be awful. I mean,
the Slitheen... Because on the one hand, they're big, silly green monsters, but on the other hand, they're really cruel. They're like just really cruel people.
It's crazy that they're such a presence in the Sarah Jane adventures as well, because they they kill so many kids, and they kill 2 kids in that show. And wear their skin.
It started getting upsetting how they kept exploding, and everyone was like, well, that just happened while they were covered in guts, essentially.
In viscera.
In viscera, yeah.
Disintegration successful.
You don't say.
You finished Sarah Jane Adventures now. You fully watched all of it.
I have, yeah. It was very sad. They had several things they were going to bring back, including Clyde's homeless friend.
Yeah, that Clyde episode is incredibly good.
Yeah, it is.
I'm so impressed, but I really like it as an episode.
Absolutely.
And it's a shame we didn't get the Mr. Smith spy story.
Oh,
where Mr. Smith's a human for some reason.
Oh, there's a someone linked a description of the episode. We like know the they like explained the episode in the same way that we are explaining these episodes, like just beat for beat. So we kind of know what would have happened. The others get like
I mean,
progressively less detailed. But yeah.
Anyway,
okay.
So Alec, so Kuva it's sort of like gives the impression that it's going to be a level sort of actiony story, but then it quickly gets very quiet as Kuva gets injured and is sort of like losing control over forming their own body, and then it becomes a quiet horror that follows Alec around, and it is purely from his perspective.
We could even...
And the terrible things he does. Because I like the idea. I do like that a lot, that the first 10 minutes of this story is leading right on from Spaceport. Not right on, obviously, but like it's the same sort of tone and energy. It's quite silly. It's quite like action-y. Kuva's sort of...
Like they've been...
Not entirely in the role. Yeah.
They've been running away from the Gilead for a while.
This is finally sort of the break from this, and Kuva's in a very desperate situation, and... there was something you said last time, which I've been thinking about a lot.
Yeah.
And it's that Alec would never have been a companion of the Doctor. The Doctor would have never let Alec on the TARDIS.
No.
and I really like that because we're traveling with a villain. We're traveling with someone who could be a Doctor Who villain.
We are. I kind of enjoy the
So, yeah.
the villainception. Like the Doctor was traveling with Kuva, who used to be a villain, and is now like unconscious. And now Kuva is traveling with someone who sort of still is a villain and is also unconscious. And so
And now,
through that chain
because
of
I think
the Doctor mostly being okay with what Kuva's doing, but except a few things, and then Kuva mostly being okay with what Alec is, except a few things. That chain has now led the entire thing into a very bad place.
we can up the game a little bit, by the way, that if this wherever this community is very isolated and it's very sort of like primitive technology, Alec can sort of like has the technology to heal people, but the ones that he deems very sick and unable to save by his standards are going to be given to Kuva in order to save them, and that's it. Like,
What if they just start worshipping Kuva as like a god, and they like start like he says that like, oh yeah, feed your sick people to the Kuva, and then everyone's like, yeah, because that's like our god or something, and he goes along with it.
I don't know about. I'm not sure about that one because I don't think Alec would think that. I don't think Alec would try and manipulate them. Alec is just like, oh yeah, I'll give you this technology, and then sort of like the implicit
That's a
in
good
his
point.
mind, the implicit deal is, I've given you this, I get this. I'm gonna take your sick, and then maybe at the end, like one of the characters he's met is just like, what have you done? What have you done? We could have saved them. It's like, you would have just wasted more time. You could have saved them, but I've done you a favor. I'm not really sure what. This was our deal. I would sort of help relieve you of like pressure, and I've done that. I need to go now. My superior officer needs me.
Yeah. Okay. So is this like a 1-part or 2-part thing?
I think one part, just a one part for this one.
Okay. In that case,
just a little side story for Alec. And then I think the final sort of the ending bit can be maybe Kuva slightly unaware of what Alec's done, and Kuva being like, Alec, how did you heal me? Like and just Alec being like, oh, there was a local hospital, and that it being it, like just being there was a hospital nearby that could help, that provided assistance.
I don't know if he'd lie. I think maybe just he might answer it
I think you,
accidentally ambiguously, and then Kuva just
like,
assumes the best.
it's just like, yeah, because Kuva, I think Kuva doesn't really have a lot of options in allies at the moment.
What if the village was suffering from like a plague? To explain why there were so many sick people?
Could be plague, or could just be like a hospital, like it's just sort of like,
Okay.
this is kind of a like a sort of like there's a big care center that I think like it's a sort of I do like the idea of a medieval village, but it's also just like we can have it be it's medieval, but there is a modernism there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I do like that actually. Like, we would have to come up with the design for these aliens and how they look. But like, I do like the idea that there's they maybe have wood buildings, but like plumbing and electricity. Just to make them more isolated, it could be the other way around with brick buildings, but no electricity.
Yeah,
No,
like they sort of they've got that sort of. Oh, sorry, carry on.
no, because like the second one makes more sense for the plot, but the first one I think would look better.
I think we flip a coin.
Flip a coin? Alright. I'm going to
No,
flip a coin. Heads. What was heads? Okay, it's heads.
Heads
We've
to the first one.
Heads first one. Alright, cool.
This is writing 101.
Medieval-ish. How do you spell medieval?
It's
Okay.
like EVAL, right?
Yeah, no, apparently that's American.
Oh,
In English, it's
that's
AE. val.
Medi.
I don't know. Yeah, I'll be American. Maybe the first person that Alec takes could just be like, the child without, like he didn't ask. And then they find him, they find Alec in the act of saving the child, and then he's like, he proves to them somehow that he actually can, like, save people,
Help them.
but he needs payment, and the payment that he needs is the people of the village.
So like not people in the hospital, but it's the people like who may be people of the village there. Like,
Yeah, like,
not the sick.
it seems to me that some of you would rather die than let your loved ones die. So I can arrange for that.
It's like the trade is, I will heal in return for me healing one of your family members. Whoever is connected to this person must decide who they're gonna send off to me.
Yeah. Oh my.
I like that. I like that a lot because that's Alec like taking control of the situation and being like, you value these people's lives, so you're obviously willing to give up your own, right?
What if he just says that's in his? I think if he tells Kuva in the end that he read that trick in a rule book, like they handed that was in rule 502 or something.
Yeah, the rules of acquisition state you can sacrifice children to save your boss. I do like that. Although I personally think that when Alec says it, there's no malice behind it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just like, if you're willing to give your own lives for these people, well, that's an arrangement. I'll happily help them if that's the deal.
Now I'm thinking of like how Alec can factor into the ending, because what if Kuva like wakes up the doctor and the doctor's like, "Oh, thanks for waking me up. What happened while I was gone?" And then Kuva explains, and he's like, "So you, and he's still here?" And then they like figure out that Alec might be about to do this again, and the doctor has to run to stop him. What if Alec?
Oh wait, are you saying the doctor would wake up in this episode?
Not in this episode, but in the finale. In the actual finale.
Ooh.
When they're back at Earth. Maybe the doctor figures out that Alec might be about to do something really bad. Like, for example, destroy the Earth.
Yeah, like, it could be something like, if at this point, Alec is so, like if because I know we talked about it, this was like the idea of like, Kuva gets Alec fully on their side by saying, "Oh no, technically your superior officers don't exist anymore because they fucked time up so much. So you're like whatever." But like because of that, Alec takes it into the initiative of like, "Oh, in order to stop this Gilead fleet, which is what my boss wants, I need to like they're all down on Earth, or at least near our vicinity. If I can wipe out the Earth or trigger these weapons to go off, it will guarantee their destruction." Or something like that. Yeah, exactly. There's a part of me that would be now the more that we talk about it, the more that I'm like, oh, should Alec stick around past these stories? Should Alec remain like begrudgingly against the Doctor's will in the TARDIS? Like what?
I'm imagining that the Doctor might after this like tell Kuva, like, you remember earlier when I said if you did something like that again, I wouldn't be able to help you. Like, you have, and I don't think I can be around you anymore. And then, like, the start, because, like, he's just lost the Earth as well.
I think it would definitely, the Doctor would that. I feel like that's being unfair, because Kuva technically hasn't done anything. I mean, if Kuva is the reason Earth gets sent away, I suppose it's like, the Doctor could be angry to be like, oh, you've willingly worked with someone who you know is dangerous, who you know is not. Like, I know, like, but I don't know, would the Doctor be forgiving of Kuva being in a desperate situation?
Would the 15th... I don't think that the 15th Doctor would stand for, like, any kind of... Like, the 15th... Like, the Doctor in general, and more definitely the 15th Doctor, I feel like they're more about, like, the ends never justify the means. You have to, like, be better than the bad people.
So are you saying that maybe this could be the end of Kuva and the TARDIS?
No.
This could be like them.
No, because I mean, we'd have to talk about it later, but
yes, yeah.
I think they could like there could be a way of making it up to the Doctor, in some way. But I
am really curious to see what happens to Alec though specifically, and what becomes of him. Sorry, anyway, sorry.
I am too.
Well,
Hang on. So I think this is a bit of a mess now that we've deleted some things. So
okay. So
part 1 and part 2 is just the setup.
So this story is definitely taking place before the Doctor's mind. This is going to be before then, I think. Because that makes sense to me.
Yeah. Okay. I think maybe like directly before, or maybe in 19.
I think after the spaceport one.
Directly
after the spaceport one, I think
that does make sense.
Yeah. And then having another episode of Alec and Coover doing something, but not so Alec focused.
So that puts 22 and 23, or maybe. Hang on, I'll move the Doctor's mind slightly later, like back here. This is very confusing. So 14 and 15 are set. 16 is unit again. 17 is the spaceport. 18 is what we were just talking about. 19 is another Coover and Alec thing, or maybe 19 and 20. 21 is unit again. 22 is the Doctor's mind, or maybe 22 and 23, and then the rest are the finale. Does that sound good?
Let's have a look at that. So medieval planet 19 and what were 19 and 20 again?
19 and 20. Where's that? Oh, that's what we're just about to do.
Okay, and then 21 is unit, and then 22 is Doctor's mind. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That works with me.
We could condense the Doctor's mind into a single thing. And you know,
I'm fine with it being the way it is for now.
All right, well, yeah, we can talk about it after this, because I think this will be an important thing in their plot line. Because, okay, I think this would be a bit later. So Coover and Alec have been spending a lot more time with each other. They've been what's it like in space? They're going through Gilead space or something. What Coover? Because like Alec is essentially kind of almost mindless in a way. Like he doesn't really care to think about what's going on around him. Coover, I think we could make this about how Coover feels about Alec's outlook on his life, is essentially on where he stands inside Gilead society.
Okay, I like that. Like where Alec stands in Gilead society, and where, and then we can also have like where Coover stands in relation to the Doctor, and sort of have that be the sort of the two of them like discussing that. And maybe Alec is like, oh, so you're the Doctor's like, you're like the Doctor's subordinate. You're like below the Doctor, and you follow orders. And then and Coover's like, no, it's honestly not like that. And Alec sort of being confused by their dynamic and how it works. Because I think we could just have it in Gilead society that like the privilege of having a personality and having beliefs and wants is not afforded to those at Alec station. Like it's just not. It's not your. That's not for you.
So, okay, what if they find a spaceship, like floating out in the middle of space? We could even have this be like a creepy one. And it's abandoned, but there's some kind of... Like, they pick up what they think is a distress call because they can't work the controls. And they...
And, like, Coover makes a decision to go and do it.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, this is what the Doctor would do. We've got to go and check this out.
Maybe Alec, like, is not just, like, confused by that, but he's like, but we have our mission. Like, the rules say we have to do the mission. And, like, as they figure out more about the ship situation, Alec starts to distrust Coover in a way, because Coover keeps making selfless decisions.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like, Coover's making, like, decisions that aren't, like, that aren't going to benefit them in any way in order to get to Earth. And Alec's like, oh no, this is, how can you be my superior officer?
Yeah.
Like, you can't if you're doing stuff like that. And then it becomes a threat of like Kuva trying to convince Alec otherwise. I'm sort of like trying to reinforce that before Alec turns a weapon on them and maybe kills the Doctor.
Because the thing is, like, Alec is very bad at manipulation, but Kuva has absolutely no frame of reference for what could make Alec trust them. They have no idea. So they're just sort of guessing.
Like, and it can in these stories we can sort of set the finale a bit of like Kuva realizing that Alec is quite dangerous to the Doctor and themselves, but because of the time they've spent with them, Alec could be useful in stopping the Gilead, to like defeating them if Kuva keeps them on their side. And like we see like a bit, and maybe maybe Kuva confesses that like maybe Kuva comes clean about like why Alec is still here, and Alec respects that, or like not respect. Maybe I don't know. If we have to decide if Alec is capable of respect.
I wonder.
Or like,
because like if they do have a concept of deciding whether their superior is doing the right thing, we could decide whether Alec has. I think if Alec knows whether his superior is doing the right thing, it would be possible for him to respect them, just under that basis. But I think that it might be interesting for Kuva to keep around Alec, not because they, like, need him, but because they keep mentally, like, coming up with excuses for the things that he does. And, like, maybe even at one...
Yeah, just stuff like, oh no, this is like what he is. This is all he can be.
Like, oh, if I just explain to him what he's doing wrong, he'll change. Because in a sense, Kuva is lonely without Alec, and they don't want to be alone. And we can... If this is about, like, a mysterious, spooky spaceship, then we'll see some of... Maybe we'll see how Kuva acts when they are alone. Like, we'll see how terrifying it is for them. Sorry, I was going to say, though,
like... No, it's fine. It's like, but like, if a motivation for Kuva for keeping Alec around is that, like, no, this is all they know. This is all, like, I can't really, like, I can sort of guide them the right way, but I can't actually change them. And if they ever say that to the Doctor can be like, Kuva, you've changed so much the time you've been here. Everyone is capable of change. Like, that is, like, how could you possibly say that? How could you possibly sort of defend all you're doing by saying this is defending the actions of this dangerous thing, this dangerous man who's willing to kill for no reason.
Yeah. So about the actual episode.
Yes, what's on?
Would it be like a whole crew?
I like that, whole crew.
I think we need, like, maybe a mystery for them to solve. Maybe they like get to the ship's computer or something, and they find some mysterious information or whatever.
I suppose it's the idea of what's the problem on this ship, what's happening that like Kuva and Alec can solve, like what?
Like, maybe the actions of the people on the ship in the past are, like, projecting themselves into the future like they're ghosts. So, Kuva and Alec have to sort of follow the actions of the people as they were in the past to try and figure out what went wrong on the ship.
Yeah, we're, like, seeing the things that they, like, did wrong that caused this thing to happen on the ship. And it could be something that, like, the ship is also, like, going to... Eventually, time is going to catch up with itself, and the ship will be destroyed, and all of these people will be dead.
Yeah, like they're in, maybe they have to stop the explosion in the past, in a way. I think that it would be cool if we could have a opportunity for Alec to do something terrible at the end. Or maybe not even at the end, just like...
I mean, it could be something like... I'm just trying to think if Kuva's trying to save as many people as possible, but Alec sort of turns them around and being like, oh, if we do it this way, we can not only guarantee that we're going to survive being here, but also we can save like half the crew members. And like Kuva's like, no, but we could try if we just try and we tried. We could. There is a chance we could save everyone. And Alec's like, no, almost an impossibility. And like and Kuva just being like, no, but the Doctor can do it. The Doctor. And maybe it's just Alec's most brutally sort of thing is like, you're not the Doctor. You're never going to be the Doctor.
Oh.
And that sort of breaks Kuva a little bit. And Kuva goes with the plan to save half the crew and let the other half die.
Can we change it slightly so that that is great? Can we change it slightly that instead of it being ghosts, the crew is like still alive and like trying to save things, and it's the kind of situation like in Under the Lake and Before the Flood, the 12th Doctor episode, where the Doctor like swoops in and he's like, okay guys, I know the most about this situation and you should probably do what I say. I can calm everyone down. I have a very calming presence despite the fact that I keep insulting people. I can work this out, don't worry. You can trust me. You know, the kind of thing that the Doctor always says. But it would be a very interesting contrast to see maybe Kuva trying to do that, and then Alec just, in his way, just saying, maybe threatening one of them. Not in anger, but just like, nonchalantly, oh yeah, we'll throw you out of an airlock.
What, Kuva?
Alec.
Alec's like that, and then Kuva's like, no, it's fine. Like, he's just joking. He's just joking. Yeah, I like that.
To the point where maybe they don't like...
And maybe there's...
To start with, maybe they don't want their help. And then Kuva and Alec are just like, alright, well, let's go then. And then the power goes off and they can't leave. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Well, no, I think Kuva would want to stay on the ship to help people no matter what. I don't think Kuva would want to leave.
Yeah, I think
Alec
they'd want to.
would like want to leave, obviously, but...
But, like...
You think Kuva would?
I think Kuva would want to stay, but they might upset the people on there so much that the people are on there are like, you're making the situation worse, please leave. In a way. Does that make sense?
Like, yeah, I think it's just probably easy that like the people of the ship are happy to have saviors, the people who are going to rescue them and stop all this. Like as things go on, like paranoia starts to creep in as Kuva and Alec like are discussing who like possibly sacrificing a bunch of people in order to save a few of the crew.
Maybe it's like a there's a computer virus that what if everyone is a cyborg and the computer virus has infected one of them, but they don't know which one. And so they know that one of the crew members is, like, against their will, like, sabotaging parts of the ship. And I feel like this would be the perfect excuse for Alec to just go, well, if we just blow everyone out of an airlock except one...
It could be... We could have it be that it is like it is a murder... It's a sort of Doctor Who, based under siege in this ship, murder mystery, with that element that, oh, one of you... This sort of like group of cyborgs, one of them is infected, one of them is like, we could tie in the Gilead somewhere in there, like maybe that the Gilead did something to this ship and sort of just left them stranded, and like one of them is like causing a problem, and Kuva is trying to play it like the Doctor, trying to figure it out, trying to connect with the ship, trying to like merge with it, talking to people, and Alec is like interfering with the formula of a Doctor Who episode. He is breaking it by having it like Alec, by just having it be like...
Alec is the one who's like, who is stirring up the most panic. And like, Kuva's...
And it could be a case, if the Gilead are involved and like, they did infect one of these crew members, Alec could be like, I know strategies for dealing with people with cybernetic enhancement. Why would we only infect one crew member? Why would we do? We would infect all crew members and have them rip apart their own ship. And trying to be like, and Alec is trying to say, well, you probably can't save everyone. Why would we would never leave a job half finished. We just leave them to destroy themselves and go.
I
all of these people are most likely infected.
It would maybe be interesting to have them... I assume that the Gilead look distinctive.
They're like patchwork, like they are wearing skin and are all very sewn together. And I've always imagined that like his Alec isn't as visceral, but he has like tiny little like dark eye holes and like a very like minimal features, but it's clearly just skin being worn.
I think maybe they
Sorry,
have...
what were you gonna say?
Like, at the sight of Kuva's companion being a Gilead, they're instantly mistrustful of both of them.
Yeah. It's like, oh, why are you traveling with, like, a Gilead? And they're like, no, he's fine, he's different. And he's definitely not different. He's definitely not.
What if Alec jumps to the conclusion that one of them is evil and, like, doesn't let go of that idea the whole time? Like, even if there's, like, contradicting evidence...
That Alec jumps the idea that one of them's evil?
Did I say Kuva? I meant Alec.
Oh, no, sorry, you said Alec. But I honestly think Alec would be like, no, we can't trust any of them. Why would we ever trust... Why... I think Alec would just be like, no, we should kill all of them. They're doomed. They're not going to survive this.
I think before they help, Kuva might have to convince Alec to... I think Kuva might have to convince Alec to help them by saying something along the lines of, we're trying to stop these weapons from existing anymore. It's some way Kuva might have to convince Alec that this is an important thing that's going on.
Oh yeah, it's like no, we're specifically here with, like, this is like tactical, this is like recon, this is like learning about the enemy. And then he's like, oh, okay, as long as it's that, as long as we're doing that and not helping people and being kind.
What if Alec's not fully convinced? Because I don't know if Alec would be convinced by that, like, entirely. Because, like, he knows all about, isn't he the recon? But, like, he's going along with it because Kuva's his superior. Like, fine, I suppose if you say so. Like, that would be...
Do we just have it that...
like, a slight amount of tension to start it off, which could then grow as Alec becomes more and more distrustful.
Yeah, and it could, I don't know about you, but that could reach, like, come to a head with Alec killing someone, just executing someone in cold blood, without Kuva's not around and he kills someone.
Yeah. Does that... I don't know if this is a good idea, but maybe he does that, and it turns out that, oh, what a surprise, that guy, it turns out, was the actual infected guy. And then Kuva's like, oh, you worked it out because of all this information. And then he's like, yeah.
What?
I think.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, Alec just goes, probably. It's... and, like, that sort of, justifying... And maybe Kuva at the end is like, Alec, I know we were trying to help you, but, like, you should have really talked to me about that. And Alec actually gets... This is the first time Alec, like, shows an opinion and is like, your method was going to ruin that entire thing. And maybe there's even a bit of pride for the Gilead way of things in Alec. Just at least once. Just, like, a hint that he does buy into it. There's a shift, and it's, like... maybe proof that he does have emotions, that he does feel stuff. It's like, say what you will about the Gilead, and what we do and what we believe in our hierarchy, but we get things done. There's a reason your doctor has stopped us, but we've conquered countless planets. We are efficient.
And I think that Kuva's reaction to that could be something like, maybe they don't know how to deal with... Like, this could be kind of a similar reaction they had back in My Little World when the doctor was, like, scolding them. Like, an intense amount of shame and, like, worry that they have upset Alec in some way. And, like, not quite knowing how to deal with Alec disagreeing with them in a way. And, like, not understanding...
Like Kuva's quite upset?
Kuva is upset that Alec doesn't like it, and that is the reason why Kuva isn't just like... Kuva doesn't really fight back on this.
And it's just like, I think there's a bit of, like, this in Kuva's head, it's like, no, this is not supposed to be like this. This is not how it's supposed to work. And Alec is sort of just confused at, what do you mean?
How do you know?
It's nothing, it's all...
You're not the doctor. The doctor's in charge. The doctor tells you what to do.
You're just his subordinate. You are there to learn. That is your role. That is your designation. I am here to follow orders. If you try whatever you're trying to impart on me, please stop. And I think Kuva is like you said really upset. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh my god, what am I going to do? I need the doctor back. The doctor's been my sort of rock throughout really difficult times, and I'm now stuck with this monster who doesn't care, who doesn't want to change.
I think if we make it so that Kuva actually doesn't like Alec too much, like I think Kuva maybe knows that something's wrong, but I think it's more believable that Kuva would let Alec stay around if Kuva is like, well, I don't really know how to deal with these situations. Maybe Alec is actually right in a way.
I was just gonna say on the part of maybe this is the point in the series where Kuva it's a little bit fucked up, but like Kuva now knows to not view Alec as a person but as a tool.
Ah.
And
okay.
And like
that is better than
like,
what I was saying. Yes.
Just like Kuva decides from now, okay, you don't like maybe Kuva's like, okay, if you don't, I won't try and help you. You don't want that. But like Kuva's like, I need to save the Doctor. I need to save Earth. That is my priority. I can't get distracted anymore. I have a resource. I need to use it. And that sort of like hints of their like who they were before the Doctor found them, sort of coming through.
Yes.
And that sort of willingness to use people, but now it's for a good cause, or like in quotes, a good cause.
I actually really do believe in this now. I really like this. I think for the first time I'm seeing where I'm seeing the vision for this part of the story. I'm seeing it. I'm invested now.
You were so right about the having these more episodes with Alec and Kuva and having their development be seen.
Because I was just thinking about how much difficulty we were having trying to fit in everything in our last session. And I was just like, maybe we just have to kill one of the plot lines. Because that's the phrase, kill your darlings, I guess. But you were right.
Kill your darlings, yeah.
I'm glad that we still have some unit stuff, because it is still the idea.
But I think you were right that the unit stuff needed to be cut back. It needed to be less of a focus than Alec and Kuva, because Kuva is our main character.
Yeah, because we fully did not have enough ideas for that. We'll have to find out what the war between the land and the sea is like, honestly, because that will be Russell T Davies' official stamp of approval of what these characters are like on their own without the Doctor.
What their personalities are, what they're like, and also how he's going to handle the Silur. It's about the Sea Devils, right?
The Sea Devils.
His new series.
Well, in the third Doctor, the third Doctor does say that the Silurians are and the Sea Devils are actually related, like it's the same thing.
Yeah, and then in Warriors of the Deep, they team up to save to do something. I can't remember how Warriors of the Deep goes. It's something to do with nuclear sub.
Warriors of the Deep.
Fifth Doctor story. He kills them with lizard gas.
Oh, Fifth Doctor?
That's the episode where the Doctor falls into the vat and Turlo's like,
face it, Tegan, he's drowned.
Yeah, you see, I wasn't really paying attention for most of the Fifth Doctor. I might have to rewatch a lot. It's so long. It's so long, and there's other things I was doing at the same time. But yeah.
Fair.
Sorry, Fifth Doctor.
But I also Fifth Doctor does have some very good stories in there, but some of them not so good.
Yeah.
Some great concepts in the Fifth Doctor's run, absolutely. Just not a lot of them followed up on. Warriors of the apparently they're going to do there's a rumor that they're doing a more humanized Sea Warrior design for that at some point, which will be a bit sad.
Oh,
I quite liked how they looked in
redesigning the
Legend of the Sea Devils.
For the first time, editing that first episode, I looked up the difference between the 70s Silurians and the 2010s Silurians, and just looking at the difference was hilarious.
See, I do. While I do not mind the humanized Silurian design for the modern era. I would be interested in seeing. There was a really good prosthetic for an old Silurian design that looked fantastic, that could have been worn as a mask, but I don't mind the human Silurians. Oh no!
What?
Oh no!
What?
I really hope this isn't. Because I was looking up an account that does a lot of really cool Silurian designs.
Oh.
And this was a screenshot of, I think, the Sea Devils, the modern Sea Devils look. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh dear. Oh no. Oh
Little
dear.
gremlins.
What is that? I don't like it. Oh no.
Okay. I mean, we've only seen the head.
But
The rest of them could look okay.
But this looks. The Chibnall ones looked really, really good. No, they looked really cold. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, let's get back to the Good Doctor,
Yeah.
the one we made. That's very overzealous of me. That's very overzealous.
It's fine. I'm sure it's fine. Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
All right. So what were we talking about?
So, well, we've just finished that episode. We were discussing, like, Hoover's realization that she now will view Alec as a tool to win instead of
Yeah.
a person, and a very dark realization for her.
Yeah. So hang on. I'll try and write that up. I think this would be maybe a good two-parter, depending on how much happens in it. I feel like the spooky ones they're always better when they're slightly longer.
Yeah.
And since
I
two
think,
parts,
I honestly think it would.
2 parts is the normal length. Of it.
From what we. No, sorry. I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
No, I was
I was
interrupting
going to
you.
say I think maybe it should be a one. I think it maybe should be a one-parter, just because we like. It's quite. I feel it feels very contained to me. Like it's sort of the setup that this could be a big mystery that's constantly being dampened by the companion being a psychopath. But not a psychopath in the Moffat way, where you just say you're a psychopath. In like someone who's like a murderer who is unfeeling,
Like an actual
and very
psychopath
cold.
who's just really cold.
Yeah, not when River Song is gunning down a room full of the silence and being like, "Never trust a psychopath, baby." Like, what you do? You're an archaeologist.
Okay.
Stop being weird.
I actually think that I would like this to be a two-parter. If we focus on if we have enough spooky scenes that happen, we could we could linger on this story and have it be like very uncomfortable. Just having like Kuva being in this very tense situation with some scared people with no idea what to do and no ability to control the situation, with just like Alec being really murderous. And if it's longer, we might be able to have like a more bombastic ending with like the person who's the actual killer like chasing everyone or something. I actually do feel like I don't know if there's probably not enough episodes to go around, but maybe even a 3-parter, but definitely a 2-parter.
Ooh,
Not 3.
I wouldn't say 3-parter, but I am willing for 2-parter. 2-parter, I'm fine with. I think.
Yeah.
I'm fine with, like, maybe having it becoming increasingly tense, and maybe as Kuva falls apart, Alec does take control of the situation and is like, "Oh, you are not fit for this duty. I'm gonna handle this. I'm gonna deal with it the Gilead way." And we see emotion in Alec for the first time, like sort of beyond just the emotion they feel when they follow on for orders.
Yeah, okay. I mean, we haven't really in order to flesh out this episode a bit more, we would have to come up with the actual personalities of the people on the ship and like some of the elements of the mystery. But should we hang on? I'll write down what we have right now. Then we can talk about if we want to pad it out a bit more, flesh out our plan. Can we move the can we move the conversation from episode 22, The Doctor's Mind, where they're talking about how the conversation where Alec is telling Coover about his outlook on command and that he will follow commands blindly. I think that would be good to put here.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, and we can always alter that slightly.
Because in a way, we have now expanded this whole montage that we were just going to have be a really quick thing in part 1
into like proper episodes.
Yes.
Yeah, into like a proper little thing to explore them.
If you want to type one of these out, by the way, at some point, just say.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I've been happy for you to if you don't want to type them out, although so I
no,
will
it's fine.
type them out.
I'm just worried I'm doing all the typing.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good.
Can they blow up the spaceship?
It blow up the space. I mean,
I feel like that's like the most horrible thing that Alec could do.
I want to end it that they kill every single person on that ship, like that none of them survive. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm cool with that. That Alec ends up like sort of bringing the sort of like the sort of maybe deliberately sort of if it's a Gilead virus, knowing how to re-engineer it, infecting everyone, and having them just destroy each other.
Oh,
completely.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, next we have episode 23, and I feel like episode 23 would be a good one to attach to a different episode.
22 is the Doctor's Mind, and 23...
23, because
24, 25...
The 3-part finale.
That's our big ending.
So I feel like it wouldn't go well there, but maybe there's...
No, I'm just trying to think, do we... Because after the Doctor's Mind, that's now fully Coover on that... Coover is going to Earth. So 23, what could we do with 23? We could do something really special for 23.
Oh, okay.
I think, because I think instead of having it be a focus on Alec's thing and Unit, even Unit, I mean not Alec, Coover and Unit, maybe have it be just a story from, I don't know, I'm trying to think. I want something, maybe 23 to be a bit of a weirder episode. That the only thoughts coming into my mind is either from the perspective of the Doctor, or it's from the perspective of the Gilead as a whole. But I don't really know how either of them work. What are your ideas?
Well, it could be a flashback to a person that Coover met while they were abducting people into their universe that sort of informs their decisions now. Maybe they at one point a Gilead fell into their universe, and it would be like Coover's reaction to what, because the universe is built off people's thoughts, and I feel like maybe this would be like a Gilead commander.
So this would be this would be in the past, correct? Like they fall into, this is before the series begins. Okay.
Before everything began. It's a bit of a non sequitur, but I feel like the old flashback just before the big finale. I feel like that's a good technique. Either
I have
that.
an idea.
Yeah.
The entire episode, like, because I like the idea of it being sort of an imagination, a sort of an episode based in Coover's imagination, but it could be something less like in the past and more. The entire episode is Coover imagining how things would have gone if the Doctor had been here. I don't. It's not an amazing. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's like a great idea. I don't know. 23 is a hard one to think about. I do like the idea of maybe I do like the idea of setting it in pre-Coover's character development. I think that's a cool one.
I think we could just no. I was going to suggest making it earlier, but we should have this be like its own individual episode.
This is a tricky one.
Because the thing is,
the
thing is, this episode,
yeah,
the Doctor's mind is kind of already like a weird cerebral thing.
Yeah, you're right.
We could have
so maybe just having something a bit more normal afterwards.
I was thinking, what if we just did this?
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Okay. Well, that must mean it's a good idea.
Perfect. I'm happy with that. I'm really
no notes. We don't even have to change the episode. Let's go straight on.
Straight into the finale, which we've sort of already done. We are nearing the end of this run.
We do have all of this.
We just need the finale part 3, unless we want to change this. I mean, I'm happy to change it, fully.
I don't remember what we did.
I'm not overly attached.
Yeah, I.
So this is it was basically UNIT are on board with the Silurians. Mel and Rose are doing something in the 1880s. The UNIT get the Silurians on board, and now they begin to fight back against the. Do we want to rewrite this? You want to rewrite this?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. That's good.
So the thing that because of course we did cut the 1880s thing to save time, but the thing that we miss out on that is we don't have an episode about the cracks in time. Not the cracks in time, because they've done cracks, but the anomalies.
Reality. Yeah, the sort of because one of my favorite ideas from that is the idea that it was an alternate universe Britain where the Gilead married into the royal family, and were reshaping the world.
Is that a next part idea for when the Earth is truly just in its own pocket dimension where nothing makes sense?
If they eventually get back to Earth, yeah, I'm happy to do that. That's cool with me.
Yeah, we should save all the really bad stuff for then.
And it's now just sort of an infection point that really has fallen apart.
So, I think we should start off with a summary of how, because I think, when was the last time? So the last time we saw UNIT was in 21. If we can move, actually, if you go up to episode 21, if we move this up a bit. Before Coover and Alec do all this stuff, because it's sort of, we can imply that hang on, the numbers are changing now. We could imply that from 20 to 23 there's some kind of large time skip in a way.
Yeah.
So then at the start of episode 24, maybe at the start of episode 24, Coover and Alec are traveling, and then they reach Earth. We have a summary of what it's like on Earth now.
Yeah, we can have it that maybe if Coover and Alec get there, they actually do wander around the streets a little bit and see the sort of weirdness, time popping up, people aging rapidly.
Oh yeah.
Sudden spontaneous invasions and Gilead soldiers running around ruining things.
They could even maybe the first part of this story is Coover and Alec just find some people who are sheltering from all the craziness, just under a bridge or in an abandoned building or something. It depends how many other ideas for the story we have. Let's table that, because eventually they probably are going to catch up with UNIT, I guess.
I do have an idea for when they catch up with UNIT.
All right. What's
thinking, that? Maybe this is Coover's. I think these three episodes are Coover's darkest moment. They're their lowest point after everything that's happened.
Oh, yes.
Coover is setting up the. Maybe Coover talks very frankly with Kate, I need you to draw the Gilead in as much as possible, and just maybe says you are not going to survive. seeing this, and now that Kuva has like seen time itself being like, this is gonna end. There is no way to save you.
So does
and
Kuva...
maybe Kate says.
Does Kuva already know that they're going to blow up the Earth?
Oh, what, the Gilead? I think, well, because the Gilead want to invade the Earth, and have been invading the Earth, but...
Yeah, but why does Kuva not think anyone's going to survive?
Oh, well, maybe it's not that they're going to survive, it's like, maybe Kuva is like, I've seen how things play out if Earth remains here in this situation. It doesn't end bad. Sorry, I'm struggling to think. I think basically the idea is that Kuva is trying to manipulate Kate into drawing as much fire from the Gilead with the promise of giving like heavy support, while in actuality Kuva is going to be infiltrating the Gilead ship in order to get at their weaponry.
I think that's maybe slightly too bleak. I'm gonna say that with a
fair enough.
Okay. I want to say that with a question mark because there has been 2 episodes where everyone died back to back in this story.
Yeah, it's...
But I feel like this is...
It's fair enough, honestly.
But maybe the knowledge that the Earth is going to definitely die after this is all the way through the episode. It's like maybe too much.
Well, I think I think it's more that like Kuva just knows that the only way to save the Earth and the only way to save all of existence from the Gilead's time distortions is to like quarantine both the Gilead's like fleet and Earth itself, and that once the Doctor is back, they could try and solve it. But right now, that's the best they've got.
I think
stopping this.
I think that could be something that UNIT tells them. Like UNIT is like, we've got our top scientists on it, and we have a way of solving the problem, but it's a bad solution because it involves locking Earth away into a pocket dimension. So we don't really want to do that. We were hoping that maybe the Doctor could come and tell us a better way. Do you happen to know anything about that? And they could be like,
I mean, it could be a case of Kate being like, absolutely not an option. We're not going to do that to Earth. Like, because that's where she stands. Like, we're going to save the Earth. That's the option. Maybe Kuva's like, okay, we will find a solution. And Kuva is absolutely lying in that moment. Oh, we're going to find a way to fix this. No, we won't.
I don't know if
we're going to.
I don't know if that's what Kate Stewart's personality is like. I think Kate would, in order to save people, she would take drastic action, I believe.
But the thing is, she is in my mind. I think we discussed this earlier. Is like there is a nationalist streak in Kate. Not like in the sense of like of extremism.
Yeah.
But there is a dedication to the protection of Earth.
You say
and
that.
The prioritization of Earth.
But she did nearly blow up London.
But I suppose that is true though. But like, I don't know if that is true actually. But was that in protection of the planet? Like that was her greater good moment.
Yeah,
Would she sacrifice all of Earth to save the universe, which she doesn't really care about? She doesn't really care about the wider universe, except how it poses a threat to everyday life.
I mean, she might think it's too much of a risk. If they go into this pocket dimension, the laws of physics could be different, and everyone on Earth could die. So she'd rather take her chances.
I do think although maybe you're right. Maybe you're right with like. Maybe Kate and Kuva would be on the same page with the plan then.
Yeah.
We're saying, like, that because you are. Sorry, I did forget that she was going to blow up London. I did completely forget about that. I thought, oh shit, of course she was going to do that. Oh my god. Yeah, maybe, and it's kind of sad because Kate has built this bridge with the Silurian and is now going to essentially stab them in the back by making a decision on behalf of every living thing on Earth.
I honestly don't know if... Maybe the Silurians agree with it. I mean, like, if she could be persuasive enough... Because, like, what really... Aside from not being able to do space travel, what is the real negative of being locked in a pocket dimension? aside from being locked in there with a bunch of Gilead?
I suppose just the time distortions mostly, and the idea that
Yeah.
that will just be happening all the time.
I think
suppose that I like as long as like
in that
the
situation,
Silurians are given their rights.
the Silurians, yeah, if the Silurians were given the right to walk around on Earth, like at the same time as Zygons, like they would probably agree. They would probably agree to this plan then, in my opinion. Unless you disagree, that you think
maybe,
they might not.
No, I think the people who would push back would probably be like the Zygons, because they lost their planet
And they're gonna lose it
originally.
again.
They're gonna lose it again now. So now Kate's lost a faction that has gained the trust of the Silurians, and that's less people to work with, but maybe that's the best they're gonna do.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the rest of the unit are all fascists, so they'll all listen to everything she says.
They're all fine. Which is a good point,
They're all
because
fascists.
the thing is, now that Kuva and Alec are on Earth, they will likely be just listening to Kate now.
Oh, I think Kuva is definitely. I would say Kuva and Kate are on equal footing.
Yeah.
With what the plan is, like they're like co-leaders of the remaining force they've got left. Silurians with Gilead technology, Alec is their sort of Gilead guide.
Okay.
Any of the remaining unit members, but losing Morris Gibbons, losing the alliance of Morris Gibbons.
Can't believe
He is a
Morris
Zygon.
Gibbons is going. No.
No.
Anyway,
This is for later on.
yeah.
But oh no, this might be too. This is a kind of like, this is not an idea I'm like super attached to, but just like a possibility. As the Silurians and Kate and Kuva and Alec all like are gathering with unit soldiers to launch an attack on the Gilead. Maybe partway through the battle, the tides turn because the Zygons have teamed up with the Gilead. They are scared that their planet's going to get destroyed. Or do you think that's too far? That's probably too far. And also doesn't make it like.
I mean, the Zygons are such a large part of this story. I do think that that idea is very good in that not all of the factions have the same goal, and that's always good with a thing with lots of factions. The thing is, once Earth is lost, the pocket dimension will have 4 factions of aliens, including humanity as aliens. Well, they're all aliens to each other, to be fair.
Yeah.
Except the Silurians, technically.
Exactly.
Never mind. So they will have the opportunity to do other things, but honestly, I think maybe there could be like Zygons who are like the Zygon leaders, who are not like, we're not going to mobilize troops, but like on the ground, like the people who live on Earth, like Zygons and humans could be fighting alongside each other in a I guess, like if this is the moment that the Gilead have chosen to do a full-scale invasion, because Zygons have that like electricity thing where they zap people. Yeah, they could be all doing that.
So are you saying that the Zygots, it's like the Zygots are helping UNIT?
Like civilian Zygons are helping humans.
Oh yeah,
because they all live in the same place.
It's like a bit of like division. Oh yeah, I'm cool with that. That makes sense to me. Like the sort of actual hierarchy of like the Zygon leaders are like, we are not going to be. There will be no formal organization. We leave that to our own people, and like maybe they're like, we don't support what your plan is for Earth. Also, we could have it in this episode that they because I'm assuming obviously that they bring the Doctor to Kate. That with the sort of Earth technology, a lot of technology, that they try and figure out how to actually help the Doctor and get him out of this state.
Okay. Can I just say, okay, so part 1, highlighted. Right. I'd say part 1 could be like half and half. Kuva and I like walking around, like on the streets, seeing how bad things have gotten. and then the second half of part 1 is being debriefed in unit, like and making plans and stuff, like just a bunch of exposition. Okay, part 1.
Yeah, part 1. Kuva and Alec like trying to survive the time distortions. Kuva's been a TARDIS for the first time, and that's been very difficult to land. Like, yeah, because
I did say I'd prefer. I don't know if you agreed, but I'd prefer for Kuva to not become a TARDIS so early, because
I don't like. I thought that was the whole point of the Doctor's mind, though.
They knew which way. Yeah, but that was how to get to. Hang on, let's talk about this. I thought the Doctor's mind was just to know how to get to Earth.
I've always interpreted like, the journey is too far, so we would need a TARDIS to get there quicker.
My problem with Kuva becoming a TARDIS is that's too powerful for Kuva right now. I think, in the one where Alec ransacks a medieval village, I imagined the fact that Kuva went all wibbly being because they tried to overextend their powers to save Alec and the Doctor, if that makes sense. So they don't have full control over it. So when they get to the Doctor's mind, so the actual full realization of Kuva's powers not happening until a long time later. Maybe they could discover how to build a TARDIS in the Doctor's mind.
Compromise. This is a one-time thing that really fucked. Like they did once.
Okay.
And like will develop and/or have consequences later on. Like maybe doing that really, because
that's good.
My idea is that along with all the stuff that's happened with Alec, becoming a TARDIS was so mentally draining, and seeing the web of time was so traumatic that Kuva is now set on the path they're on now with Kate, and this sort of like doomsday like survival thing of like containing Earth and sort of going against what the Doctor would do in that situation. But like that's just for that moment. Like they aren't going to be able to just time travel all about the place.
Yes. Okay.
Like constantly, because that's what it was. Earth unit have the TARDIS. They have the TARDIS now.
TARDIS. Yeah.
So that's we've got to make sure that's one thing. We've got to make sure that we get the TARDIS off Earth. We can do that later on though.
Can we have Kuva call the TARDIS?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay.
That makes sense to me. Because they're also like they're bonded now quite a bit. Like there's an understanding there. Like Kuva can't be a TARDIS again, but they do know how the TARDIS works a lot more now, and how to like summon and signal them.
Okay. Also, that might be how Unit find them in the end, because they just look for the TARDIS.
I'm quite happy with how. I'm glad we've rewritten this whole bit and changed it from what it was.
Yeah.
Because I think it flows a lot better now.
I agree. I just thought, like, what's the best part of this that we should focus on? And it's definitely Alec.
Because this is a very companion-focused series, and now that Kuva is in the main character's role, it makes a lot of sense to have them put a spotlight on this guy.
Yeah.
And compare how Kuva and him are very, very different from each other.
So part 1 is that. So, I think part 2 would be trying to wake up the Doctor in parallel with maybe Kuva and Alec doing some cool stuff, running around, killing people.
Because the unit are ready to fight the Gilead. They're trying to use the technology to wake up the Doctor or find out what's wrong with him.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it could be like something that they discover that the Doctor sort of like the Gilead have somehow harvested the Doctor as like a temporal inconsistency as well. It's like it's not just like Time Lord DNA. It's like they've drained him of his place in history and are using that to power their weapons. So they need that back. Need to get that back inside the Doctor.
Maybe
If that makes sense. Like just
like sneak aboard one of their ships and get like there's like a core that is powering everything, and if they can get that back to the Doctor.
Yeah, they can like either bring the Doctor to that or get to the Doctor, and that would bring them into like while the unit and the Silurians are fighting the Gilead, that brings Kuva right into the conflict. And I think like for the part 2 it can be going really well. Like Alec knows these ships, and then as soon as like part 2 ends with the Gilead, like maybe the Gilead commander is like, oh no, they're starting to fight back. We need to ramp up, like maybe just getting frustrated, like, oh, if Earth is a problem, if Earth is going to continue like this, we need to completely like level this planet and like pick up, like take the scraps and like harvest what we can after it's like wiped out.
I like the idea that they have a massive cannon, like a massive big Death Star type cannon that there's going the whole entire 3-parter. It's like it's ramping up. Maybe you can like even see it in the sky on Earth.
I do like that. I do like a big ominous cannon. we could have it. The Gilead commander says to dump the entire core that Kuva and Alec need on the Earth, just to let it loose and ravage like everything.
Like to drop it on the ground.
Like no,
and then it'll explode.
To completely, just to drop it and detonate it onto the Earth, and just have it ruin everything. And then it just becomes a case of like, and then also we can have Alec, like, we can have a moment where this like the superior commander finds Kuva and Alec and just like says, Alec, I am your superior. I give you orders. You are to point your weapon at this individual, and then that's part 2.
You have just reminded me of something I was going to bring up and then I forgot, because I did want to go back to all the way back at the beginning when Alec joins Kuva. I wondered if we could flesh out why Alec originally left in the first place. Is it like it could maybe be like
our initial thing was that Kuva shapeshifted to appear as Alec's superior officer.
Oh, yes.
And then
you're right.
Like Kuva's been out of that war. Alec is still under the belief that they are actually their superior.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I forgot about that, but that's good. That's fine. Is that everything we just said? I might be forgetting stuff.
Oh, the Silurians unit, like with Alec's instruction, like with the technology, like the Silurians and Kate are leading a full frontal assault against the Gilead, and like kind of dominating them. And I think with, like you were saying, with the help of like Zygon residents, like individual Zygons, like who are coming out to help and like fighting back.
Okay. Is that like because humans don't really have space travel currently, so I was thinking maybe the Silurians take care of the space side and UNIT uses aeroplanes. Because honestly, the Silurians might not even have the technology to make aeroplanes, because they're underground. There's no point.
Yeah, that's true. Like they do. Like they probably would. Like I think the only thing they could really do is like outfit like some Earth aircrafts with a bunch of weapons that they have to fight back.
But they
I think so human like
they would be able to kill stuff, because if there's one thing we know about the UNIT, it's they have lasers.
They do have lasers, but now they've got time lasers. Now they got time lasers that can.
Are they using time lasers?
And also Silurian weapon.
They can use the time lasers.
Well, not like the time lasers. They could use the time lasers, but like maybe with Kuva's knowledge, Kate's knowledge, and the Silurians' knowledge, they're much more responsible and less like chaotic as the Gilead ones are.
Yeah, like they fixed it. Like all they have to do is just
have fixed the problem.
All they have to do is recall all the weapons and then fix this one tiny thing, and they'll be safe. But they aren't. We keep asking them to, and they don't.
They're just so focused on the war. And now their commander's going to make it even worse by destroying the power source of that weapon and dumping it on an entire planet. Essentially ruining both the Gilead and Earth's chances of survival. And also all of time and space.
Yeah. It's almost not enough for a whole part, in a way.
Yeah, it's quite short. It is very short. Because do Kuva, are Kuva and Alec bringing the Doctor with them here?
No, I think they'd leave the Doctor on Earth.
Because they're going to say, if they do have them with them, that could also be a justification for the commander to be like, we don't need that other core. We've got the Doctor back again. We can just use him again. I
mean, that makes sense, but I think that Kuva would have had enough time. Kuva would have had enough of just lugging the Doctor around with them the whole time. They'd be glad to leave him in one place.
Fair enough.
What other big battle stories have there been? How do they?
I suppose
kill time, essentially.
A Demon's Run, which I didn't like.
Which one's that?
The one. Oh, A Good Man Goes to War, which I thought was a bit meh. Actually, no. Good Man Goes to War is fine.
Oh yeah, because it had all those characters returning. In it.
It had Dora Moldova in it, or whatever. It
actually did. To be fair,
I didn't mind Demon's Run. I say that I did. Sorry, I'm convincing myself of. I'm trying to remember that episode. I get confused because right after it is Let's Kill Hitler, and I cannot stand Let's Kill Hitler. That's a fucking awful episode.
Maybe that's because it was a first draft.
Not real. Is that actually just a first draft?
Yes. Because, and I keep saying this, Stephen Moffat was working on Sherlock at the same time, so he didn't have any time.
That makes that makes a lot more sense because I remember
that's why the second half of Series 6 is like that. But yeah, what else? What other battles? There was Time of the Doctor, which was mostly it was mostly focused on Clara, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not really like a battle.
There was.
It's I suppose Journey's End is quite a big battle.
Journey's End.
A big invasion.
Yeah. What do they do in that?
Or I mean, Stolen Earth.
Stolen Earth. Yeah. Stolen Earth / Journey's End.
That's just a lot of people, like, a lot of the factions are moving around, fighting back the Daleks where they can, but also just trying to get in contact with the Doctor and each other.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Maybe, honestly, maybe we have a few, maybe the end of the episodes we have a few deaths. Who do we want to kill off? Mel?
Mel? Question mark?
I
Who's
don't know.
the most annoying?
Like,
We have to kill off the most annoying
one. I think. Well, we've sort of justified Morris Gibbons, so I don't really want to kill her. He's not that annoying. Shirley Bingham's not annoying. She just has no personality and is very underbaked. Rose is fine, but I think.
What if?
Yeah, Mel probably gonna have to. Mel.
Oh no! Okay, we're gonna kill Mel.
No, we don't have to kill anyone. We just I
want to kill Mel now. I'm bloodthirsty.
You want to kill Mel? You want to get her out of here? Maybe near the end of the episode, if the as that bomb is dropped on Earth, like because that is what the Doctor needs to get better. Maybe he wakes up to see Earth like this, and is now trying to find Kuva.
Okay.
This is like I don't think he'll have a major presence in Part 3, but like he's now awake. He's now up and about.
Maybe the cliffhanger at the end of Part 2 is they actually let go of the thing, but it's going to take like a long time to like actually land.
I don't know about that. I think about just having it land on the ground, having it smash into Earth.
No, because like if
and start fucking them up.
The Doctor could have been awoken by. Okay, you've convinced me by your thing, but let me tell you my idea because I think it was slightly funny. The Doctor could be awoken by like it hasn't landed yet because it's going to land in 20 minutes. But he gets awoken by it landing in the future because he's a Time Lord.
That is funny. That is a funny idea. I do think we should just have it smash into the earth. But I do like that.
No,
we can
on.
do that if you want. We can.
Because it could be like 20 minutes in real time, and like it will land in
the rest of the episode. That part
three is that
is the 20 minutes where it's going to hit the earth.
Yeah.
Like we can have part 3 open. That like we have the part 2 be the Doctor waking up. Part 3 shows like what this thing's going to do to Earth and the rest of the universe. And then it goes back to the Doctor who sees this happening and, like, is now in a race against time to find Kuva.
Yeah.
Like, Kate's on the front lines, being, like, out there being, like, the Silurians are now being slaughtered by, like, the wave of time distortions are now getting to the point where the Silurians are going back to their old design. Same with the Zygons as well.
Actually...
And everything is falling apart.
I won't say that because... not knowing that is funnier. You know, I will say it because I know it. In The Hungry Earth, which I've just rewatched, there's a throwaway line that the 11th Doctor says about the new Silurians being a different strain of Silurian, a different like subspecies, kind of. But yeah, I
do not remember.
They should. It's very throwaway. It's a throwaway line. It's just before the Doctor meets the Silurian they've captured. But in summary,
that's such a funny. That's so funny. Of like, oh, how do
we should willingly disregard that and say?
Yeah, we should.
We should just disregard that and do what you said because that's great.
Because I find that so funny. Is like, so like, how do we lampshade this design? So we can justify this being very different from how the Silurians originally look. Oh yeah, it's different subspecies or whatever. Yeah, but like the Silurians are like the time distortions are causing them to have like to look very different from how they were. Like to go back to their early designs. We can also maybe even have like Kate's having to deal with like, you know, the invasion.
No.
The Cyberman in story.
Yes. The invasion. It's very generically named.
Like,
do you know that one invasion from Doctor Who?
It's not in.
Which one?
You know the invasion in Doctor Who? Yeah, come on, the invasion.
The invasion.
The idea that a lot of like old, very classic Earth invasions are happening now all at once.
Oh.
And now they have to deal with that as well.
Yeah, I think maybe next series we could bring in the recast Brigadier, if we really wanted to, because if all of the invasions have happened, but not now, because that's another thing that we wouldn't.
Yeah,
we wouldn't want to add more things.
And for now, it's just the invasion is happening, and I think we just sort of leave Kate in a very bleak-looking situation.
Yeah.
With everything sort of falling apart, and like the remaining unit people being, unit soldiers being gunned down. And the Silurians also in a similar looking situation.
Yeah. And when the thing actually does hit the Earth, the entire universe will explode. Yeah, okay.
So, like, even that's, like, it's not going well. So, and then I think, like, for part 3, which is going to be, like, the Doctor's presumably has the TARDIS, I'm guessing, and is going to try and find Kuva. And then Kuva and Alec are going to do some terrible things.
Yeah. Hang on.
To save everyone.
How big should the core be? Like 10 meters? Like a cube that's 10 meters glowing?
Oh, I thought just have it... I kind of imagined it as like a gigantic like cylinder of like all these like tendrils coming off it.
Oh, yeah. Very large. Okay, so the Doctor has the TARDIS, but doesn't know where Kuva and...
How does the Doctor know where Kuva and Alec are?
He doesn't, is what I said.
Yeah, he doesn't.
You would have to.
I mean, he could like if he's being tended to within like the Silurian base, there could be like an Osgood there, like who's staying behind of the conflict to sort of inform him.
I think the Doctor's immediate reaction to this would be, okay, what's going on? I have to solve this now, or something along those lines. Maybe he could have like a solution that doesn't involve either time being destroyed or Earth being sealed away, but it kind of doesn't pan out because of Alec.
Yeah, like it's like he's like the Doctor's now on like his brain of like I'm in my sort of ideal situation. I can solve this problem. I just need resources. I need the TARDIS. I need Kuva. I need their shape-shifting abilities. We can sort of find a way to like quarantine Earth here and extrapolate all these distortions. Like, it's risky, but we can do it. But like, by the time the Doctor reaches Kuva to do this, Alec is already on the path of what the plan is.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it could, because I mean, especially because Alec's in an interesting position because at the end of part 2, the commander tells Alec to kill Kuva. But do we still want to go with the thing that Kuva convinces Alec to kill the commander because he technically doesn't exist anymore and therefore has no rank due to like Gilead time distortions?
I think maybe that could be like deliberately not make any sense. Like Kuva's explanation of that could just be deliberately gibberish. But Alec's like that.
It
that
could
sounds,
be a lie. Like it
sounds plausible.
Alec just sort of like I think it could be left up to like Kuva's either telling the truth and is talking gibberish because of that, or Kuva is absolutely lying to Alec.
Yeah.
To get him back on side. And I mean, Alec and the commander could be like, Alec, that's ridiculous. Follow your orders. And Alec's like, well, technically, sir, Kuva is correct. Even if I shoot you with this weapon, this time distortion weapon, that technically is a correct fact. Wouldn't you agree? And then the commander gets very, very scared, and then Alec guns them down before they can say another word. And then Alec's like, okay, what's the plan now? What's next?
Okay, so what is the plan? They needed the core to bring back to UNIT, but I think maybe they could try and enact the plan from this ship. Maybe they, as a last-ditch effort, they could try and ram the ship into the core.
Because the core was to help the Doctor, but also this is the source of the time distortions.
Oh yeah, it was.
Maybe we could tie Kuva's ship, like, to quarantine the Earth. Could we tie maybe Kuva's shape-shifting abilities into it?
Oh, good idea.
They are like going to act as like the power source to make this shift happen.
Yeah, maybe.
I also
because if Kuva doesn't have to breathe, they could jump through the airlock toward the core and try and slow its descent, leaving Alec in a position to kind of do whatever he wants.
Yeah, Kuva's gonna like try and handle the plan, but maybe, and I mean, I suppose, okay, let's make a decision now.
Yeah.
Is Alec dying at the end of the story? Is he dying?
I think it would. I don't know. I'm really not sure.
Because we either have him, the man who is responsible for a bunch of horrible stuff, stick around in future stories, or this is his swan song. If Alec sees the plan isn't, he might try and destroy the Earth as a way to seal up the wound.
That's actually great, because that's after everyone has decided not to do that.
Yeah.
Like, he just disagrees with that idea.
Yeah, he's just like, okay, well, no, this isn't working anymore. We have to take the roundabout solution to this. I
think in that case, maybe the Doctor could VC with Kuva on the spaceship after Alec killed his boss.
Yeah.
And then
the Doctor reaches out,
plan.
Knows where they are, and so I think the Doctor is still trying to find a way not to quarantine Earth. Kuva is trying to quarantine Earth, and Alec is now trying to destroy the Earth. in order to which is both opposed by the Doctor and Kuva.
Yeah.
Do we have it that Kuva kills Alec?
I don't know what the most satisfying way to do this would be. Because I do want Alec to see some kind of justice for the things he did by the Doctor's hand. I feel like the Doctor is some kind of Deus Ex Machina to solve the Alec problem. It would be quite satisfying for that to happen, but it would also be satisfying for him to die. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, sorry, no, I agree, because it would be cool to see, like, some of that family of blood type of, like, justice done upon Alec by the Doctor. I do also like the idea that maybe Kuva, like, maybe, because we've seen before that Kuva broke someone's, like, arm. What was it? She broke someone's arm before?
With
their powers?
She warped it.
Maybe, like, in order to regain control of whatever Alec's doing and to stop him from initiating his plan, Kuva uses their shape-shifting powers on Alec and just distorts him, like takes control of him and then just rips him apart. Either that or Alec survives, which is always still an option.
I think that the Doctor wouldn't want to kill Alec. I think... What if Alec survives but on the Earth as it is in a parallel dimension?
Oh, so he gets trapped on the other... He gets trapped with Earth.
Because he made that happen, kind of. So he's now trapped as well.
Yeah, because I think it could be a case that, like, Kuva is ready to quarantine the Earth, the Doctor gets into contact, Alec sees this, makes the decision, my superior officers are weak. The Doctor is weak and has made you weak, and my commander is dead. I have to take things into my own hand, and because of his interference, Kuva and the Doctor can't enact their plan to save everyone. They have to now quarantine the Earth to stop Alec from massacring the planet.
Okay. Sure, okay. So that's the end of part 3.
How do you think Kuva and the Doctor defeat Alec? Like, they stop him from...
Because the thing is, they kind of don't. They're trying to stop the Earth from being taken, and then they don't stop the Earth from being taken.
Oh, so Alec's gonna...
So
Alec is dedicating to the Earth getting displaced.
Yeah, even after everyone has decided that that's not a good idea anymore, because they can solve the problem.
And this is Alec's character arc is the inverse of Kuva's, Kuva had a lot of independence and, like, it was fine to control people. Alec was very comfortable being controlled, and has now decided that his decision-making is absolute.
Okay.
And yeah, that is the... So Earth is displaced to another universe. Alec is like, goes down with them. And Earth, the Gilead fleet, are gone, leaving only the Doctor and Kuva and the TARDIS.
Cool. I mean, okay, that's not much for part 3. That's just kind of the ending, but I feel like... I feel like there's a lot more we could do with the whole battle thing.
Yeah, well, like, the battle is, I think, maybe we can sort of, like, give Kate a bit of an ending and, like, see what she does. But also, I think we should definitely focus on the aftermath with Kuva and the Doctor, and now they are alone together. And I think what you were discussing about, like, the Doctor saying, I warned you about this, I told you. I liked that about, like, referring back to the My Little World story. And the Doctor and Kuva sort of at a loss of what to do next, if they want to carry on, if the Doctor wants Kuva to carry on traveling with them.
I think that's a question we should deal with in the next part of this series.
Yes.
27
Absolutely.
to 27 plus 13. 27 plus 12 is 39. 27 to 39 is the next 13 episodes.
Because I'm really happy because it's the whole thing of that. If Kuva had ditched Alec sooner, or even never even brought him along in the first place, this would have never happened. They could have actually saved the Earth. I'm really happy with that. I'm really happy we wrote that.
That is that is 13 episodes. Finally, it took us long enough.
Yeah, and now we just got the future and what to do.
Yeah.
What to do
Oh,
now?
we have one last thing. We have to name everything.
Yes. So we got a lot to name. We got
14 and 15. Kate Stewart calls the Doctor back. They discover about the Gilead. The Doctor goes to the Gilead's planet. All his Time Lord energy is taken. Kuva is imprisoned, discovers more about the Gilead, and escapes after telling the TARDIS to go back to Earth with Alec. That's 14 and 15.
okay. 14, 15. What do we call that?
The Odyssey begins. Or something about an Odyssey. The journey.
Journeys begin.
The journeys begin. No, because
begin.
it's not about an Odyssey. It's about the start of an Odyssey. They're not actually going anywhere in this episode.
We could.
The journeys begin.
The one. Journeys. I'm... Bold. It's a bold new title. Bold new reference.
Should we actually do that?
We can't call it Journeys Begins.
But we could. It's our decision. We could do whatever we want.
Journeys Begins. we.
Oh no. I am this close to writing The Journeys Begin. You have to come up with something soon. One of us has to, I'm going to type it.
The only thing in my head is Memento Mori, but that has no relevance to this whatsoever.
I mean,
That's
kind of...
Remember You Must Die. I don't know, it doesn't really work. It's...
Too
Fuck
late.
It, put Journeys Begins. Put Journeys Begins.
We could put The Journey Begins.
The Journey Begins. Yeah, that makes more sense, but I find The Journeys Begin so much more funny.
We can do whatever we want. We can technically do whatever we want.
The Journeys Begin.
Okay. I can't...
Yeah.
I actually can't believe we've actually done that. Anyway.
I have episode 16. I got an actual title.
Yeah. Just to remind.
Crowd Control.
Crowd Control. Oh yeah, you can write that. Because yeah, this is unit is scrambling to distribute vaccine, or let's just go with solution, because it was a virus, wasn't it? Economy crashing as people unable to work, etc. Crowd control. I have to scroll The Journeys Begin off the screen or it'll distract me. Anyway, okay.
We could call it Descent of the Doctor, episode 14 and 15.
No, I'm attached now.
Doesn't make sense. That's The Journeys Begin. Okay.
I like The Journey Begins. If we were actually doing it, we would call it The Journey Begins. But since we're not actually doing it, I like The Journeys Begin. It's grown on me. Unless you think that's too silly.
What do we want to call... No, I'm happy with Journeys Begin. It makes me laugh.
Okay.
Spaceport? What do we want to call Spaceport?
So this is the one. They're in the spaceship, and neither of them knows how to fly it. They run out of fuel. They go to a spaceport, get into some gambling with Dorian Moldova, who I'm definitely going to suggest bringing that guy back later. As payment for losing, they get rid of all the Gilead soldiers by turning them against each other. Moldova decides not to let them go. Kuva warps someone's arms and escapes from their grip.
For Spaceport, we could call it the Great Moldova Swindle.
The Swindle. We could just call it The Swindle.
The Great Malco. Call it the Swindle. I'm happy with that.
Okay. Swindle. I love that name. Actually, I'm not certain. Could be something like Brave New World. We've already had a name with world in it, though.
Wait, for episode 17?
17, yeah. Because it's like, they're both...
Oh, I quite liked...
You quite like what?
I liked the Swindle. I'm happy. I quite like the Swindle.
Is it a swindle? Because they kind of just...
I don't know.
Really...
It's not a swindle.
That's the only thing. If it was an actual
call it
swindle.
New World Order. If you want to have like a Brave New World, sort of New World Order.
Something to do with the Gilead. Something like New World Order, but about how the Gilead have taken over the spaceport.
Oh, because I was thinking New World Order in the sense of like the positions that now Kuva is in and the position Alec is going to be in.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of get that. Alright, New World Order. Okay, 18. Kuva and Alec's ship are being raided. The ship crash lands... They crash land on a planet, killing everyone on board, except for the Doctor, Kuva, and Alec. Kuva saves them with their... This is a bit dark for the rest of the story. It's just suddenly...
No, that's good. It's good that it's dark. It's good.
Yeah, okay.
Darkness is great. I think we should call it Acts of Kindness. I love how horrible this episode is. This is what happens when the villain is our main character, someone who doesn't care.
I'm just trying to work out a way to like lighten it slightly, because this is a very Torchwoody thing. You know what I mean? It's like before they were running around having fun, and now it's...
Yeah, but I
think
this
okay.
is what we want. The main thing we wanted to this was being set up in Spaceport. The idea that Kuva's out of their debt, and now we get to see that expand and go further.
Okay, can we just say that they're not actually dead? They're just like they're trapped, but Kuva doesn't.
They're dead. They're dead. They're dead. Sorry, I think they should be dead. I think they should absolutely be dead.
Okay, can we just agree to disagree on this one? Because it's a small point.
So what do you want? You want to make this story? You want to make this story a bit lighter?
Yes.
By having what do you want them to be trapped inside Kuva?
Yeah. Because the previous one is they were having fun running around and like turning the silly capitalists against each other. And the next one, Unit are trying to are having a heroic gunfight with the Gilead and like trying to make ties with the Zygons, which is like kind of fun. And then here it's just like they land here and kill everyone. It's very Torchwoody.
They don't kill everyone. They kill a very specific group of people. Like
he only killed 8 children to make the 456 go away.
Yeah, but I
and otherwise they destroy the planet.
I mean, we can change.
We can agree to disagree. It's not that big of a deal.
No. I just wanted to say, I think the level of nastiness here is necessary to characterize Alec. Like it's,
yes.
Like, we see the heroics and the kindness of our true protagonists, and then we see the cruelty of our villain, because Alec is our central villain for this series.
He is kind of, yeah.
He
has become that.
The Gilead Commander was originally that, but he's not really like a main character, and Alec is the villain.
I would imagine
never stop.
I would imagine he would be in it more. We just haven't talked about him because he doesn't really do anything.
This actual discussion has helped to make him a much more key part of the story and a very good part of it.
Yeah,
I've really liked that. I mean,
because it's
a small thing. Like,
yeah, it's very important that Alec. It's very important that Alec is very cruel in this. Maybe if we were to actually make this episode, I'd like to discuss if there's a slightly nicer way of having it end.
I mean, the Yeah, that's fine. Like for now, I think we can always discuss that next time. I think
Okay.
I do. I do actually get that because that's
Maybe I'll come up with an idea in between now and then. In fact.
Yeah, I think the idea that maybe at least one person in Alec's who Alec is willing to sacrifice does survive, and that's the sort of hope, the glimmer of hope. But for now, we'll just leave it.
Yeah.
And then we will come. Actually, I'll make a note to come back. Okay, episode 19.
I'll greenify it. Okay, episode 19.
I need to go in a minute, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get the titles.
Quick. Unit are trying to research the Gilead while also quelling public fears. This would be... this is still about the portals, but it would actually be about more like contacting the Silurians and stuff. Trying to deal with time portals, etc. Maybe someone falls through or something. I think I was thinking maybe this could be Crowd Control Part 2. Like it's a double episode. But
yeah, Crowd Control.
Split up.
That makes sense to me.
All right. Crowd
Yeah, I'm
Control
cool with that.
Part 1. Next, Coover and Alec are in their spaceship. They find a distress call, and kill everyone. In the same vein, well, maybe they kill everyone. This could be something to do with like
No,
virus.
I do understand what you're talking about. Sorry. They are very tonally different from the other ones, especially the last one. But we'll talk about it next time.
Yeah, we can. So this one would be about. It's about. Stranded. We could just call it Stranded.
We call it
Marooned.
Marooned. I like that.
Marooned.
Like marooned.
Okay.
Marooned.
Mind of the Doctor.
Yeah. Yeah. The slam dunk.
As a recap, this is the one where Coover and Alec journey through the Doctor's mind as a gigantic library. They have to find a bunch of stuff because they have no idea where they're going. Coover starts being tempted by previous adventures and almost getting lost in them. Alec's lack of imagination grounds them, and eventually Alec shoots the Doctor, and that's how Coover manages to escape.
Cool. And now the final three-parter.
The journey's begins end.
Journey begins end 2. Could we call it Honor and Duty?
Ooh. Yes. Good one. I really like that, actually.
Yeah. This was excellent. I'm really glad with the changes that we made to this. I'm very, very pleased. I'm really glad we wrote finale. This feels a lot tighter than when we were talking about it last week. I'm very, very happy.
Okay, I'm just scrolling.
And now we're gonna move on to the next part of the series.
Yeah.
The aftermath of this, all the terrible things of Alec, who got away with it, who won. Basically.
Definitely, yeah. I'm interested
anyway.
where their relationship is going now. I hope
now we're back to Coover and the Doctor, and they can sort of
Yeah.
work things out. Hopefully,
I hope they can find more people. Maybe that would be cool. Find some more.
Oh,
friends.
what, getting like a new
Yeah,
Oh, that'd be nice.
yeah. Because I think each 13 episodes should be slightly different in that sense. Yeah, I wonder how they're going to get back the Earth. But yeah, you have to go.
Yeah, I've got to start getting ready for me thingamabob. So I've had a fun time talking about this today.
Yes.
I'm sorry if I was too combative at any point. By the way,
You won. You won. I feel like we met in the middle and we got to a good point in the middle of everything.
No, I think so too. Anyway, I have a nice evening. I'm looking forward to when we do this next.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. Got
Cool.
some episodes.
Come
some
up with
some episodic ones.
yes, definitely.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.